Yo, what's up guys, Java here, and I'm bringing you guys my playoff predictions and basically who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. So basically, I'm the only one that believes the Bills can actually go somewhere in the playoffs here, so I'm going to basically start it out by saying that Buffalo is going to lose the first game, just so no bias gets around or anything like that. Which kind of will make this kind of accurate. So a lot of people are saying Jacksonville will win anyways, and plus LeSean McCoy is most likely, he may or may not play, so that's another not really good thing there. But just saying ahead of time, I'm going to say the Bills are going to lose, and then we'll go on from there. So we got the AFC and the NFC obviously, and I'm going to be making my predictions. So I just said that the Bills were going to lose, so that means Jacksonville will go on and play against Pittsburgh, and then we have Tennessee and Kansas City. Now this is pretty hard because Tennessee at the beginning of the year they were not doing that good. They were struggling at the beginning of the year, and they really did not look like they were going to be able to make the playoffs whatsoever, and they sneaked in just exactly like the way the Bills did. So. And then you have Kansas City, who started off absolutely fantastic at the beginning of the year and then slowly died off and didn't get very well at all as the year went on. So but Kansas City has been doing well since like the season has been coming to an end here. So Kansas City or Tennessee, I'm gonna have to say Kansas City in that situation. So that means that Kansas City would then go on to play New England, and Jacksonville would go on to play Pittsburgh. So now this is where it gets tough: New England or Kansas City. So a lot of people might be thinking that's easy. New England obviously is a different team than it was at the beginning of the year when the Kansas City Chiefs beat them. And I definitely 100% agree with that. So that's not even like a no-brainer. Definitely Kansas City would be winning that game, or losing that game. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to have to take New England in that sense there. So New England will move on to the AFC Championship for like a lot of years in a row. Let's just say that. Get a little bit salty about that. So Jacksonville or Pittsburgh. This is the thing. Antonio Brown will be back at this time most likely, and Ben Roethlisberger was completely off his game at this time period, and so was the entire Steelers team, and they've been doing a lot better ever since this game actually happened in the first place. Ben Roethlisberger being Nathan Peterman and throwing 5 interceptions in one game, including 2 pick sixes, I believe. So that was absolutely horrendous. So I say Ben Roethlisberger does absolutely fantastic in this game, overcomes that last game, and beats the Jacksonville Jaguars in that game there. So another same AFC Championship. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus New England Patriots. The New England Patriots got so lucky at the beginning of the year. Ben Roethlisberger made a very bad mistake of just not spiking it, taking the points and going into overtime, and taking the chances of that. But when you're playing against the Patriots, you just want to win. You don't want them to have any chances of coming back. That's just how it is. I feel like that's what was going on in his head. He just wanted to end it, and it didn't work out that well. So Pittsburgh will have Antonio Brown in the AFC Championship without a doubt, who is an MVP candidate for this season, but he may not be MVP now because he was hurt in week, I believe, 14 or 15 or something like that. I'm not sure. But Pittsburgh versus New England. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will definitely come out with a W against New England. It's no brainer. Like, Pittsburgh is like, they made stupid mistakes. They had every other reason to win that game against the Patriots. There were barely any drives for either team to go downfield. So basically, every single drive, they needed to go downfield and get points, or they were going to be behind if they didn't get any points, because there was each team had barely any drives to play in that game, because each team took up so much time with the ball, it's not even funny, and there was not that many drives. So I say this time Pittsburgh comes out, shocks everybody, and beats New England in this situation and moves on to the Super Bowl. So now we move on to the NFC. Now, here's where this goes. So, Atlanta versus the Rams. The Rams are hot. They are on fire. They really are. And I'm saying in this situation, you got Matt Ryan. He's been to the Super Bowl. Was the MVP candidate last year. Last year in the playoffs, Atlanta absolutely crushed everyone in the playoffs and pretty much had an easy way of getting to the Super Bowl, but then blew it. This time, they got a hard but not hard team. They got the Los Angeles Rams. So with Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, all these offensive weapons, Atlanta's defense is going to come out and shut down the Los Angeles Rams in this game. You heard it here. You heard it here. The Atlanta Falcons are going to shut down the Los Angeles Rams and shock everybody that thought Atlanta had no chance, because I'm betting everyone's thinking Los Angeles Rams got this game easily. Atlanta will come out and get a W against the Rams, which will move them to play against the Philadelphia Eagles. Carolina or New Orleans? I'm saying it since the beginning. The Saints, they got Alvin Kamara on offense. Drew Brees is playing absolutely amazing. Michael Thomas has been playing fantastic. I say Carolina wins this game by a field goal. It will be a low-scoring game without a doubt. There will not be that many points scored. And I say Carolina comes out with a dub in this game and shuts down New Orleans and does not allow them to have anything. Does not allow them to get anything going. And will not shuts them down. I mean, both defenses of both teams will be shutting down the opposing offenses. And it will be very hard for each team to score any points on the board. I'm calling it right now. Like, everyone thinks that these NFC teams are going to be shootouts and all this, and this game right here, I'm calling it Carolina and New Orleans. It will be a very low scoring game. Very low scoring. Maybe 50, or not 50, oh my god, 30 points tops scored in this entire game. I'm calling it right now. You heard it here, and if I'm right, then someone needs to give me about $1 million. I'm saying around 30 points, because, I mean, obviously to get 30 points in a game, that's very difficult, but that's just what I think about that game. I really don't think that is going to be a high-scoring game with those two teams. I feel like Carolina's defense is going to actually play some playoff football and surprise everybody and come out with the dub over the New Orleans Saints. So, go with seed Philadelphia. Oh my, Atlanta versus Philadelphia. Is this really even a question? The Philadelphia Eagles are nothing without Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz is not a quarterback and he's not playing, Nick Foles looked amazing his first start, but then after that it's just fell down, and this offense, they've gotten into no rhythm whatsoever, and their offense is pretty much screwed. But the Philadelphia Eagles will definitely be back next year. If Carson Wentz stays healthy all year long, but it really didn't make sense to me when Carson Wentz got hurt, because if he tore his ACL, why was he still on the field to play one more down and then he went out? I didn't understand that. That made no sense to me whatsoever. But whatever. Atlanta is just, it's not going to be pretty for Philadelphia there. Philadelphia is not going to really be able to do anything, and I say Philadelphia takes an L against the Atlanta Falcons, which puts the Atlanta Falcons back into the AFC Championship. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Carolina Panthers. Earlier in the season, these two teams played, and Carolina beat them. But this time, Case Keenum is playing the best football he has ever played in his career by a long shot. Case Keenum was known as a backup quarterback and nothing else. Case Keenum is in the MVP race as well right now. Maybe not like top of it, but he is in the MVP race. I say the Minnesota Vikings come out and they absolutely demolish the Carolina Panthers. Case Keenum is going to play the best football of his entire career, get a playoff win as the starter for his first playoff game as a starter, I believe, and come out and get a W over the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers defense will be good. I feel like this will be a kind of high scoring game, but the Minnesota defense and Minnesota offense is going to be way too much for the Carolina Panthers to be able to stay up with. I would say that about the New Orleans game, but there's just something that's stopping me about the Carolina and New Orleans to sit down and think about it and look at it. But Minnesota will come over Carolina and get the dub. I can't believe I just said those words. Those words will never come out of my mouth ever again in that sense. So pretty much, for review, we got the Steelers in the Super Bowl right now in my prediction, and I'm not just saying that because biased. I hate the New England Patriots. Like, if I was being biased, I would have just said Steelers will win over New England and just say that's it. I gave my thoughts on it and stuff like that, but Steelers are in the Super Bowl. So the NFC Championship, the Atlanta Falcons, the 6th seed wild card versus the Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be a very high scoring game. I'm calling it right now, a very high scoring game versus Minnesota and Atlanta. And I'm going to say that Minnesota comes out and gets the W, and Case Keenum, the backup quarterback, is going to his first Super Bowl, and probably only Super Bowl he will ever play on. And I'm calling it next year, Minnesota is going to fall down. They are not going, I don't see them being as great as they are right now next year. I really don't. So if they want to make this count, they really need to make this count. And the Minnesota Vikings are going to take down Atlanta, but in a high scoring game. So it might be close, but it's going to be a high scoring game for Minnesota and Atlanta. That's honestly my opinion. So this is where it gets difficult. The Minnesota Vikings #2 seed versus the Pittsburgh Steelers #2 seed. I don't even know where to start. Like, this is just a flip of a coin, honestly. I don't think these teams played once this year, so there's nothing to come from that. I mean, have these two teams, when was the last time these two teams even played? I need to look this up right now, like, because this could go anywhere. It's a flip of a coin. Honestly, I really don't know. I mean, they actually did play this year. They played on the 17th of September, and the score was 26-9, and that was with Sam Bradford, I do believe. Nope, that was with Case Keenum. Case Keenum did play that game, and I believe that's when Case Keenum was starting to get a feel for things and get, like, came up to be the starter in his first game starting. So I believe Case Keenum didn't really know much about the receivers, didn't know what to expect, didn't have time to be able to adjust and realize, hey, I'm the starter, I need to step up. And I think that's what mainly happened in that game. But I think this game is going to be a shootout. I mean, I believe this is the third game I said it's going to be a shootout, but this game is going to be close. Honestly, it's a flip of a coin, and the #1 thing about this is Minnesota would be playing at home in the Super Bowl, which is very, very surprising to be happening, of playing in the Super Bowl at home. That is just something you just don't really think about and think if it's really even possible, but in this situation it is possible for this to happen. So Minnesota versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, honestly, like I think about this now, like I thought about it later, and I thought about it earlier, thought about it now. I really don't know who's gonna get the dub in this. I really don't. Like, it's just so hard to be able to think about. like what each team would be able to do. But at the beginning of the season, 26-9 Pittsburgh, that just makes me think Pittsburgh's going to be able to get the W in this game. I mean, I really don't know what Minnesota would be capable of doing now with the level of football that Case Keenum's playing right now. So I think I just got to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win it all in the Super Bowl this year against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, I really don't know what to expect. I really don't. It's crazy to think a home team, or where the Super Bowl is played, is where one of these teams are going to be playing at home at Super Bowl. And these teams have played once already in the past, and it was a little bit of a blowout, I guess you can say. But I still think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think the Steelers are going to come out on top. And let me know what you guys think about my prediction in the comments down below. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm absolutely incorrect, and this whole thing made no sense for you whatsoever, well, when the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings go to the Super Bowl, you can call me later. All right, or comment something down below of, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know where I was going with that, honestly. But let me know your predictions in comments down below. Who you think is going to be in the Super Bowl this year. If you're a New England Patriots fan, just get out of here right now. I don't even want to talk to you right now. But if I was to say if Buffalo was going to win against Jacksonville, I would say they would win against the New England Patriots, but fall in the AFC Championship. I feel like they would be able to beat the Patriots, but then fall in the AFC Championship. So, because if you're going to play the same team 3 times in a season, 3rd time's a charm. I mean, come on. Like, come on. You got to give them a shot. I mean, as long as the refs aren't horrible and they don't take away any touchdowns from Buffalo and give the Patriots first downs and stupid pass interference calls, the Bills should pretty much be fine if they do win against Jacksonville and play the Patriots. But Minnesota Vikings and Steelers at the Super Bowl. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you think I'm going to be completely wrong, and if you guys do agree with me, and if you do enjoy videos like this, make sure you guys drop a like down below. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Next year, I wanted to do this year, but I wasn't able to do it once the week started. I wanted to make weekly predictions of every single game, and I didn't really get a chance to do that, and I didn't want to start it like midway through the season like I did last time. And I want to have like my record up and everything, so you guys see how I'm doing throughout the whole year of me picking teams and stuff like that. But maybe we'll do it next year. But that's my prediction: Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Minnesota Vikings. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys do agree once again. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, homies.